Same thing happens every single year in the UK. All of a sudden, that cold sneaks up on you. We've had some really nice days. We've also had some quite excessive temperatures as well. But as we're starting to approach autumn, the temperatures now are dropping. This morning when I came out, it was only 50 degrees. So actually quite cool. And also, all the greenhouses, all the glass, all condensating. So it's showing you that we're starting to approach that changeover from late summer to early autumn. And although we don't want to hear about that, because in the UK summers are so short, there's nothing we can do about it except make sure that we get everything outside prepared for next year. And we have to start thinking about things like crop rotation, because you don't really want to be planting the same crops in the same place every year, especially when it comes to things like potatoes. So unfortunately at this time of year, it's the time when I go out and I start taking down frames which we've been growing peas and beans up, because next year I want to put them somewhere else. And then it's a case of looking at plants and deciding maybe they've passed the best and taking them up. And any plants that are starting to look tired out there now are definitely not going to get any better over the next few weeks. Just bear in mind that we tend to forget just how cold it gets in UK when you get so far into autumn and then winter. And you'll definitely not want to be out there then doing all those jobs that you should be starting now. So I'm going to go and have a look round, see what's done, see what we can get rid of, and I'm pretty sure we're going to end up with a big pile of dead plants that we're going to have to chop up and either compost or bag and bin. Let's go and start this clear up. And these are going to be one of the first things to go. French beans. They've been in quite a long time, but the plants are way past their best now. I'm not expecting to get much or anything off these. You can see quite poor condition beans that we're getting. And the plant, from top to bottom, is starting to die back. And we have got a couple of plants in this area, but the store is pretty much the same. We've had some good harvests off these plants, but now it's time to get rid. So we'll pull them up and we'll take this cane structure down, because that's going somewhere else next year. I've definitely tied enough knots in this. Well, that's one bit done. Get these canes separated, get these plants took off. I've also got some tomato plants out here as well, but they're starting to split. They have got some tomatoes on that are all ripening, but this is happening as well, and that's because they're getting inconsistent watering. It keeps getting really hot, drying out, and then it throws it down for about a week, which it has been doing here. So they take up way too much water and then split. So for me, these plants can all come up, because I've had so many tomatoes this year. It's been absolutely unbelievable. So we'll get these cleared out as well. So that's them out, and obviously this all needs weeding as well now, just so we can keep on top on it, because it'll not be too long before weeds won't be a problem, because it's going to be that cold. So if we get them out now, there's a good chance they won't grow back. And these potato plants, I think, need to come out. They're starting to turn black on top now, so hopefully the potatoes underneath are alright. We're definitely going to have to get them up. Now we've got this pea frame, we got loads of peas off this, bags and bags that we've blanched and froze. But I don't like to grow them in the same place every single year. So again, this frame can come down and we'll decide where we're going to put it next year. Well, that's that done. Well, those tomato plants that we dumped outside, I've still got a couple of cherry tomatoes on, but nah, they're a bit worse for wear. So we've had quite a lot of tomatoes off them. Now the plants have done, so it's time to clear up the mess. And also, we need to get those sweet corns out that snapped recently. And this experimental patch that we did with brassicas didn't really work out too well. It didn't get enough sun. There's a little bit of a cabbage growing there, and then over there there's one that's basically rotting, and some blown cauliflowers as well. So all this also needs to come out. So that's another bit cleared. So we're making a bit of progress this morning. Unfortunately, we are creating a huge pile of rubbish. So we'll finish off what we're doing and then we'll decide what to do with this once we've got everything all in one place. Same things happening over here. We've got quite a few tomato plants that we just randomly put outside, but we've got the same thing happening. Too much water and the splitting. There's the odd one that's okay, and then some that's completely bust wide open. So we'll take off what we can and we'll call this a day with these plants as well. That'll do me for plants that are on the way out. Nice little bunch of tomatoes there. Trying to keep all these canes together at the same time, because that'll save a bit of searching next season. And another part of what we're also doing this month is we're cutting back all those raspberry plants. They actually reached beyond the top of those canes. And we had a few fruits off them. But when the plants start to die back, you're better to just cut them right back like this. And then they'll start getting fresh growth by spring. And we've also done the same with this one. We've cut it right back. But it's already getting new growth. So that's a good sign. And we'll get these sweet corns pulled up and all. They're not going to grow much more now. It's getting too cold for sweet corn. So we'll take off what we can. If anything's worth getting. They've not grown very well, sweet corn, this year. But with the weather we've had, I'm not surprised. Let's just have a quick look at that one. Well, we've took one of them sweet corns off. Just going to have a look at it. Because I'm not going to mess about with sweet corn this year, because it's not grown as good as I hoped it would. But, as I said, that's also down to weather. It's not looking very promising, to be honest. Well, there is some corns on them, but they're tiny. For me, they're not really worth saving, so what I'll do is I'll just wedge them on that dead tree and let birds have a little feed off them. Something will eat it. Off they go. This sweet corn's got pretty deep roots on it, so this is not a job for your back, it's a job for the spade. It's a good job of starting this clear up now, because the bigger your garden, the bigger the job. Well, when I first started that job, it was quite cool. But obviously now the sun's got a bit higher, it started to get a bit warmer. As I was saying earlier today, it was 50 degrees. It's quite cool in mornings. And pretty much most of what I've pulled up, tomatoes, sweet corn and French beans, aren't going to do so well when the temperatures get to 50 and below. And I know that next week the night temperatures are going to be going down to around 45. So there's not much hope for plants in those kind of temperatures. And because there's so much to do in this garden, that is why I start now. Mid-September onwards, it's pulling up anything that's not performing as good as it could do, or it's completely gone past its best, and get the garden tidied up, ready for the next season coming. Because obviously we'll still be growing things, but they're going to be mainly in greenhouses now. And as much as I don't want to be in a greenhouse during height of summer because it's too hot, I definitely don't want to be out there when the winter arrives, trying to get jobs done that I could actually do now, which has been the whole purpose of today. I'm going to go and find a spade, get these sweet corns dug up, and then that's another part of the work that I need to get done this week, finish with. And if you want to see what we get from those potatoes outside when we dig them up quite shortly, then just hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you at next update. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. You all take care.